that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be pissed.
Angel Reese is in the news, but not for the reasons brands usually like. Instead of getting more love from sponsors, some of them are quietly pulling back. Her special Reebok shoe is supposed to drop in 2026, but now people are talking that the deal might already be in trouble.
I thought Angel Reese was a big deal. I thought she was a box office draw. According to her pretend friends in the mainstream media, Angel Reese is a huge star.
Angel Reese's trouble-making layups has gotten almost funny at this point. In one game, she turned an easy rebound into a viral blooper, missing not once, but a few times in a row. Commentators tried to put it nicely, but the video spread online faster than a celebrity scandal, and not in a good way.
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me let me get real serious real quick. Angel, come on.
This season, Reese is shooting 44.4% from the field. That might sound decent, but most of her shots are right under the basket. For reference, pros usually make layups about 70 to 80% of the time. Reese has somehow turned the easiest shot in basketball into a coin flip, leading analysts to joke about the Angel Reese effect, where simple shots suddenly look impossible.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
With the miss, Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
Are you serious, guys? Look at this.
Angel Reese thought she had the perfect marketing move lined up, revealing her new Reebok shoe during the All-Star game. The plan was set. The game would be in Indianapolis, Caitlin Clark would be there as a co-captain pulling in huge TV numbers, and Angel would grab the spotlight by debuting her signature kicks. It was supposed to be her big chance to cash in on what everyone calls the Caitlin Clark effect.
Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. She used Caitlin Clark as promo. Now with Reebok, she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited.
Instead, it turned into a perfect storm of bad timing, the kind that would make Murphy's Law look mild. Just days before the All-Star events, on July 15th, Caitlin Clark hurt her right groin. That injury kept her out of the three-point contest and the main game, the exact stage Reese was counting on to get her shoes noticed.
Shaq and Allen Iverson are going to go and do what they can to promote their player. Like, even still here, like, you had the Angel Reese saying that she was, taking over Indiana, and there's about 15 fans there. And more than wearing Caitlin Clark merch than her merch. She pulls up with about 15 fans, and I'm like, take over, Angel, take over. This is her city now. And I'm like, and she's never won a game in Indiana.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. The irony here is unreal. Angel Reese has spent a lot of time trying to prove she's on Caitlin Clark's level, maybe even better. But now, she suddenly needed Clark's star power to make her own big moment matter. Without Clark on the court, the All-Star game lost its biggest attraction. And with it, Angel's carefully planned marketing move fell apart. The TV numbers said it all. With Clark out, fewer people tuned in, and Angel's shoe reveal landed in front of a way smaller crowd than she expected.
Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made, that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking.
Looks like the basketball gods have a sense of humor. Angel Reese, who's been loud about her own star power and ability to pull in fans, suddenly had to face the fact that she was counting on her rival to make her brand look bigger. The All-Star game that was supposed to crown her as a superstar ended up being a harsh reminder of how much both the WNBA's buzz and her own marketing still depend on Caitlin Clark. Now, Angel's reportedly furious, and people close to her say she's even blaming Clark for choosing the worst possible time to get hurt. The timing couldn't have been worse. She'd been planning this moment for months with Reebok's marketing team, all to make sure her shoe got the spotlight during what was supposed to be the league's biggest stage.
Sponsors assured him Clark, coming to his organization, would rake in cash hand over fist. But, quote, they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. She's not the draw, folks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Quote, I don't know if we can make that same offer. Cube initially sent the offer Clark's way when she was an Iowa Hawkeye.
But the bad luck didn't stop there. Angel's own body decided to get in on the sabotage. She hurt her back and ended up missing 4 of the Sky's last 5 games. They're calling it day-to-day, but there's no clear date for when she'll be back. So now, she's stuck watching from the bench while her team keeps spiraling. And the Chicago Sky? Well, they've been finding creative new ways to lose. Sitting at a rough 8-21 record, they're riding an 8-game losing streak that just happens to line up perfectly with Angel's timeout. They've dropped games left, right, and center while their star player nurses both her back and her bruised ego. For Reebok, this whole thing has turned into a PR nightmare. Imagine being an exec, watching your signature athlete miss easy shots while wearing your shoes, and hearing commentators across the league openly laugh about it. The brand that once ruled basketball is now tied to a player who's become the poster child for missed opportunities, literally.
Boy, to get popped by 40 at home. Now I'm seeing the Sky fans. It's some Sky fans going at Angel Reese. Sky fans is going at Angel Reese. And I didn't even think about this. Okay, so Angel Reese, you sat out the game before the All-Star game. Then you played in the All-Star game. Then you played one game and said, okay, your back is hurting. Now you're not playing. I don't know. Look, the Sky fans is bringing it up, not me. They bringing it up. Look. Don't get mad at me.
Reebok's basketball division, led by Shaquille O'Neal, made Angel Reese their big signing, the face of their basketball comeback. They went all in, building the Reebok by Angel collection and planning a whole signature shoe line based on her personality and style of play. But personality and style can't make up for struggling with the basics of basketball. And that's exactly what fans have been seeing. Her signature shoe reveal should have been a celebration of her skills and the brand's big push back into the game. Instead, it turned into a textbook example of how fast things can go wrong. The diamond dust colorway of the Angel Reese one was meant to show both grit and glamour, the perfect mix for her image as an athlete and cultural figure. Now, it's more like a symbol of bad timing, and poor planning. People in the industry are starting to wonder if Reebok is rethinking their investment. When your star athlete is making headlines for missed shots instead of big plays, and her team is giving nightly lessons on how not to win, the payoff doesn't look so great. The comparison to Caitlin Clark makes it sting even more. While Angel's been sitting out games and watching her team fall apart, Clark's been breaking records and pushing women's basketball to new levels of viewership and revenue.
Great ideas, wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark.
The money problem goes way beyond just the shoe deal. Angel's whole brand plan was based on being basketball's next big star, someone who could grab attention and sell products just with her personality. But in pro sports, personality without performance is just noise. And noise doesn't sell tickets or move merch. Her injuries couldn't have come at a worse time. Right as the WNBA was getting more attention than ever, Angel was stuck in street clothes on the bench. The Sky's losing streak without her has shown how much they miss her. But it's also exposed the downside of building a brand around a player whose on-court performance isn't always steady. For Angel, this has been the perfect storm of frustration. She'd built herself up as Caitlin Clark's equal, someone who could bring the same excitement and sales potential. The All-Star Game was supposed to prove it, the moment to show she could own the spotlight. Instead, she ended up with a perfectly planned marketing campaign and no stage to show it off.
The Fever have whooped the Sky basically every time they've played them. And did everybody forget about Barbie Night last year, where Clark and the Fever went in there and she was signing pink towels and stuff? And
the mental side of all this has clearly hit Angel hard. Sources say her frustration's been building ever since the All-Star Game flop, and her injury afterward only made it worse. She's reportedly been saying that Clark's injury ruined everything, like the basketball gods teamed up just to wreck her big moment. But the bigger takeaway here is what it says about Angel's strategy. The fact that she was counting on Caitlin Clark being there to boost her own spotlight says a lot about their rivalry. For all the talk about them being equals, it shows Angel knew Clark's star power was key to her own success. Now, Reebok execs are having to answer tough questions. How do you bet your comeback on a player whose biggest skill seems to be missing easy shots? How do you build a brand around someone whose team can't win consistently? These aren't the kinds of talks any athlete wants happening in boardrooms. Signature shoe deals are all about inspiration. Fans buy the shoes because they want to play like their heroes. But what happens when your hero is more famous for bloopers than big plays? What message does that send to young players when the signature athlete's making lowlight reels instead of highlight reels?
There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok, he's put together a load of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses, bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Angel's story has turned into a warning about how personality has to be backed up by performance. These days, social media clout and cultural influence matter for athlete brands. But you still have to actually be good at your sport. All the podcast spots, fashion shoots, and slick marketing in the world won't make up for missing layups on national TV. The Chicago Sky's struggles without her have also sparked questions about her real impact on winning. Sure, she leads in some stats, but the team's record shows that numbers don't always equal victories. For a brand trying to sell her as a winner and a leader, that's a tough story to spin when the scoreboard says otherwise.
Bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
This whole situation has bigger implications for women's basketball. The sport's been growing like never before, thanks to strong personalities and better play on the court. But when big-name players struggle in front of everyone, it can hurt that progress and feed the old stereotypes the league's been trying to shake. For Reebok, the next move isn't obvious. Do they stick with Angel and hope she bounces back, or quietly step away from a partnership that's starting to look like a liability? That decision depends on whether they think her struggles are just temporary or a sign of deeper issues. The 2026 shoe launch now means more than just sales. It's a test of whether Angel can go from being the player known for missed shots to someone worthy of her own signature line. The Diamond Dust colorway will need to stand for a comeback. Not just a style choice, how Angel handles this will shape the rest of her career and her relationship with Reebok. Will she use the frustration as fuel to get better and prove Reebok was right to believe in her? Or will she stay stuck in the same cycle of missed chances, on and off the court?
You know, in the past, when I said things like Angel Reese is not a good basketball player, I think I spoke too soon. At this point, I've come to realize that Angel Reese, the self-appointed most important player in the WNBA, is not a bad player. she may be the worst player, at least whose name we act.
The funny and painful thing about Angel's situation is that she had everything she said she wanted. A big endorsement deal, her own signature shoe, and a national stage. But the one thing she needed most was something she couldn't control. Caitlin Clark's health and presence for the big moment she'd planned so carefully that it's a reminder that in sports, just like in life, even the best plans can fall apart because of things you can't control. Now, as Angel sits on the bench with a bad back, watching her big brand moment turn into a cautionary tale, you have to wonder if she's learned the most obvious lesson of all. You can't build lasting success off someone else's spotlight. Real stars make their own moments. They don't rely on their rivals to make them matter.